Hello everyone. For today, our topic is class members and object members. Class members versus instance members. First point, the static member allocates a memory location only once, and same memory location is shared by all objects of the class. Whereas instance member creates its copies on the basis of number of objects created for the class. For example, in a classroom, blackboard is shared by all the students. So blackboard is a static member, and bags, notebooks, their numbers are based on number of students. So these are instance members. Second point, the static members can be accessed without instance. Name of the class is used to access the static member. For example, all the members of math class are defined as static members. So to access them, we use the class name. As you can see, math.pow, math.sqrt. These are the some example of static member class. In case of instance members, these are accessible through an object only. All the members of a scanner class are defined as instance members. That's why to access them we need to create object for scanner class. For example, sc. So to access the functions we generally write sc.nextInt, sc.nextLine, etc. Third, to declare a member as a class member, static modifier is required. You can see the variable declaration proceeded with static keyword. Whereas in case of instance member, no specifier is required. Now few important points we need to note down regarding static method. First, they can only access static data members and static methods directly. A static member cannot access a non-static members of the class directly. An object of the class is required to access non-static members by a static member. Third, they cannot refer to this or super in any way. Now we have taken one example. You can see one class is there, class XYZ. Here int a is instance variable and int b is static variable. As you can see, it is preceded with a static keyword. Then one function is there, public void function. Here you can see no static is there, that's why it is instance method. And you can see instance method can access both instance as well as class member directly, a and b. There is no specific requirement, we can directly access these two variables here. But in case of next method, like it is main we generally take as a static method. Reason, because it is the point from where the execution is start, so it should not depend on object, it must be associated with the class. So main is a static method, and if we wish to access non-static members of the class, we need to declare object for the class. So that's why the first statement is xyz ob equals to new xyz. That statement creates an object ob for the class xyz. Now to access these variables, b is a static member, so a static method can access a static member directly. So we can directly access b equals to 15. But if we will try to access a as b, it will give you error. To access a we need an object. So to access a we should write ob1 ob dot a. Similarly, to access instance method we need to write ob dot function name. So in this way we can call these static and non-static members. Here we have taken another example. This question came in 2015 board examination. Question is, a class merger concatenates two positive integers that are greater than 0 and produces new merged integer. Example is there, if the first number is 23 and the second is 764, then the concatenated number will be 23764, and details are given there. Now we'll see how to write code for this particular problem. First we'll see what is the class name and instance member. So you will start with the first line. Generally, when we need to take value from user, we should write always import java.util.asterisk to access scanner class. Then your first statement is class merger. The class name is merger. Then next, there are three instance variable n1, n2, merge num, and their type are long. So we will declare them as instance variables. Students, you are suggested not to declare any other variable which is not specified in the question. If you need any extra variable, you can declare that variable as local variable in the function body, but not here. Here we declare only instance variables. Now next is merger. This is the constructor which initializes data members when nothing is specified. That means we will initialize members with their default legal values. So default legal value for integers is 0, so that's why n1 will be assigned with 0. Similarly n2 and merge number. So this is the definition of default constructor. Now next function is void read number to accept value from n1 and n2. Whenever we see any input method, the first statement must be to create object for the scanner class. So your first statement is scanner sc equals to new scanner system.in. Then we put message for the user, enter two numbers, and as the number type is long, so we will use function next long. So n1 equals to sc dot next long, similarly n2 also. Now the next function is void join num. This function to concatenate the numbers n1 and n2 and store it in merge num. The logic is quite simple. Here we have taken two numbers n1 and n2. n1 is 23 and n2 is 764. Your first step should be you will count number of digits of a second number. Here in this case number of digits are 3. So in next line we will write first number n1 multiplied with 10 raised to the power number of digits plus second number. For this example it is 23 into 10 raised to the power 3 will be 1000 plus 764. So you will get your result 23764. Now we will see the code for it. Void join number. We all know when we do extraction of a number, then that number will be 0. So that's why we need to take copy of that number. So we are taking copy of n2 in another variable c. And to count number of digits we need a counter, and we will initialize it with 0. Now to count digit we will run this while loop, and the condition is till the number is not 0 we can run this loop. Every time we will increment the counter and we will decrease this value by dividing it with 10. After getting the number of digits, next task is merge number will be the first number into 10 to the power that number of digits plus n2, as we have seen in the working. So this statement will give you the resultant number. Now next is void show to display the original number and merge number with appropriate message. So you can see in the working of void show we are displaying original numbers with n1 and n2 and merge number, the resultant number, with merge num. So this is the function body of show. Now to execute program we need to call these three functions. So according to question you can also see define the main function to create an object and call the functions accordingly to enable the task. So we have to call these functions. Now thing is that these three functions are non-static methods or instance methods, and main, which is the point from where the execution is start, must be declared as a static method. Reason, it should not associated with an object. It should be class method for the execution purpose. So main is a static method and others are non-static methods. So we should know कि static method cannot access non-static method directly. We need to create an object. So the first statement should be to create an object for the class. Class name is merger, then followed by object name, new is the operator, and then default constructor, which will create an object. Now with the help of this object we can call other non-static methods like ob.readNum, ob.joinNum, ob.show. So these are the three instance methods which are invoked by a static method with the help of objects. Now we'll see how this program will execute. Now after writing this code, you can see here we will compile it. And after getting no syntax error, we have to run this code. First number 23, second 764, and here is the answer. That's all for today. Thanks.